Why did you go into medicine in the first place if all that matters to you is money?
In this video, you're going to see one commentator expose the stunning hypocrisy of a militant doctors' union that says their pay packet matters more than your life. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now let's watch this together and then I'll share my thoughts at the end.
Anyway, but what I think about these doctors, I think striking at Christmas in the midst of a flu epidemic, which has been called the biggest crisis since COVID, is about.
Hold on, earlier you downplayed the flu.
I said which has been described by the National Health Service, not by me.
It's a crisis
by the National Health Service. So doctors have been describing it as that, as the biggest health crisis since COVID. I think it doesn't get more cruel or more cynical than to walk out on sick people at this time of year. I think, how big do junior doctors, and I'm not calling them resident because they are junior, and they're called junior because that's exactly what they are. How big do their pay packets have to get before they stop putting patients' lives in danger and using them as pawns in this row that they have with the government? Doctors used to be among the most revered people in this country, but thanks to the BMA, this militant union that I belong to, that is now going away. People are losing respect for doctors, and they need to think long and hard before they do this again. People will die with them being out on strike over the next 5 days. We might not hear about it immediately, but the elderly in hospitals, the people who have flu, the people who need help will die. And at this time of year anyway, there's a skeleton staff on in hospitals. There's not as many people as there normally is. So to actually withdraw your labour now at a time when the country says the NHS is in national crisis, to me, why did you go into medicine in the first place if all that matters to you is money? They've had in the last 3 years, let me just say, in the last 3 years, they've had a 29% pay rise. They're asking for another 26 on top of that. It's unrealistic and it's not fair on this NHS they say they care about to take. This strike will cost 500 million quid a day.
So I think the strike is probably at the top of most people's minds at home, but is there any other reasons that you've lost faith in the NHS, or is it just the resident doctor strikes?
It's a broken system. For years the NHS, it was a sacred cow. You couldn't criticise it, and because you couldn't criticise it, that meant that reforms that should have been made were not made. And now we're in the situation we are. Their budget this year is 203 billion quid. And there are countries all over the world, just in the same kind of level as our country, that provide incredible health services on way less than that. It needs radical reform, and it hasn't had it for years because people and governments, this is government's fault, are too scared to criticise it.
Okay, I can make a quick point on that. I'm sorry, I have to say, we have underinvested in the NHS.
It's not underinvestment. 204 billion is not underinvestment.
We have spent less per capita than some not actually very comparable European countries who have joint investments in Germany, France.
Not true with Germany. Not true with Germany.
France in particular, and France have a hybrid scheme. So
yes,
actually, per capita, we're investing less in an entirely free service than they are investing in a service that is part paid for as well. So let's just be absolutely clear.
But you're a supporter of the NHS, aren't you? You want it to be free at the point of use,
I do. And
so Germany pays. Germany.
Wait a minute. No, my argument is that we have not given the NHS the money that it needs to be able to function, and it hasn't.
It never will function. It is fundamentally broken.
It is not fundamentally broken.
That right there is the ugly truth that the militant BMA and the establishment media will never tell you. The core issue isn't funding. It's a toxic mix of a militant union exploiting a revered institution and a government too weak to say no to the sacred cow narrative. Why did the junior doctors do this? Because the BMA knows the NHS has been weaponised as a political tool. They know the state won't let it truly collapse, so they use the most vulnerable patients, the elderly, the flu victims, the people who need help, as pawns for maximum political leverage. It's unconscionable. Carole Malone exposed the shocking truth. These junior doctors, who claim to be selfless, have already had a nearly 30% rise in 3 years and are demanding another 26% on top. That's a staggering 55% total. They are putting money before life, and that is a fundamental betrayal of the trust we place in a doctor. This is a perfect example of British decline, where powerful, unaccountable bodies like the BMA and the NHS bureaucracy can hold the nation hostage, bleeding £203 billion a year while still failing to deliver basic care. Are the junior doctors just greedy, or are they justified in demanding an extra 26% pay rise after receiving nearly 30% already? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching.